Welcome to Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's, the investigative journalism program, or IJP, where I ask the question, Whatever happened to the pizza at McDonald's? I'm your host, Brian Thompson. Recently, this program has been on an extended hiatus due to medical issues beyond my control. In that time, possibly the biggest news to hit the world of McDonald's pizza broke in the town of Pomeroy, Ohio, when the McDonald's Corporation demanded a sudden and unexpected halt to the sale of pizza at the last of their restaurants known to serve it. Today, the hiatus ends. But before we continue with our investigation into whatever happened to pizza at McDonald's, I would like to provide some more information about what caused my untimely absence. At the end of June of this year, I was diagnosed with an aggressive form of lymphoma, which required immediate and robust treatment. Obviously, my first thought was that somehow the McDonald's Corporation had poisoned my body with cancer cells in an effort to derail my investigation. But after doing some online research, I determined that this was unlikely, both because it is medically impossible to poison someone with cancer cells, and because there are far easier ways to eliminate me if McDonald's so chooses. For example, I almost never look up to make sure no one is dropping an anvil on my head. Though now that I've raised the issue publicly, I will henceforth be on high anvil alert. To this point, I have remained vague about my medical condition, but I now realize that doing so has achieved the opposite of its intended effect. Far from protecting my privacy, my reluctance to share the details of my illness has only encouraged many loyal listeners to contact me with queries about my well-being. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of those who have expressed their concern. Rest assured, I am returning to full health at a rapid pace. My lymphoma, while aggressive, is also highly treatable. I am currently nearing the end of my treatment plan, and my cancer is thankfully in remission. In fact, those stumbling blocks that forced my hiatus were not caused by the lymphoma itself, but by side effects of my treatment, one of which affected my vision in such a way that reading and writing became quite difficult. Not only could I not work on this program to my full capacity, but I was also forced to consume my entertainment primarily in the form of audiobooks. For those curious, I listened to a nonfiction tome called If I Did It by convicted robber O.J. Simpson, and on the fiction side, I listened to The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, which is the story of a short, overweight man who makes pies for trespassers. But thanks to the help of a remarkable eye surgeon, my vision, and thus my capacity to read and write unhindered, has been restored. And just in time. As I said, the news out of Pomeroy has taken the world by storm. During my hiatus, I called the Pomeroy McDonald's to ask why they believe corporate shut down their pizza operation. But where I have found my previous interactions with Pomeroy employees to be pleasant and forthcoming, the tone I picked up from the woman with whom I spoke can only be described as quite testy. She expressed ignorance of the reasoning behind the decision, and when I asked for the phone number of her franchise owner's office so that I might seek further comment, she refused to give it to me, and hung up. This employee's anger is understandable. After all, I was told upon my visit to the Pomeroy McDonald's earlier this year that pizza was their top seller. The financial hit this store will take must be astronomical. But I also couldn't help but wonder, might this employee's anger be directed at me personally? If you'll recall, I recently called the Pomeroy McDonald's and discovered that the only difference between their pizza and the pizza of McDonald's Pizza's heyday was that the original recipe McDonald's pizza featured a dusting of Parmesan cheese on its crust. I disguised my voice when I made this call as to encourage more candor from my interview subject. But what if my ruse was not as airtight as I thought? What if this latest probe into the cheesiness of McDonald's pizza crust is what finally pushed the powers that be over the edge? What if I am responsible for the potential financial destruction of what I can only assume is one of Pomeroy, Ohio's largest employers? In the coming weeks, I will attempt to find out. Let us prove together that nothing, not even an onslaught of malignant cancer cells, can stand in the way of truth. Today's episode of Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. You would like to hire someone, but everybody you know is a buffoon. ZipRecruiter finds people who would like to be hired. And the best part? Almost none of them are buffoons. Now your business is thriving, and you are rich. ZipRecruiter. No more buffoons. Do you know what happened to pizza at McDonald's? Do you remember it? Please send all correspondence to pizza@mcdonalds@gmail.com, to our Twitter page at pizza@mcd's, or through Facebook at facebook.com/pizza@mcd's. Subscribe to our IJP on Apple Podcasts, and if you like the show, consider leaving a review. To provide financial support, visit patreon.com/pizza@mcd's, or to make a one-time donation, use our PayPal email address, pizza@mcdonalds@gmail.com. I'm Brian Thompson.